What's going on, guys? My name is Jericho, and I have lost my voice, if you could not tell, and I did it for a very good reason. I ended up streaming accidentally for 12 hours yesterday, and you might be like, well, why did you do that, you dummy? That's too much time to stream. Well, it's because, I had fun playing Call of Duty. Yeah, I know, it seems crazy. I wanted to make a video talking about the World War II beta from an interesting perspective that I have never had before. A perspective of somebody who is not already fully engrossed and invested in Call of Duty. If you guys might have remembered, I used to play Call of Duty. I know, it's crazy. Years ago, my first video game was, well, my first PS2 game was Call of Duty Finest Hour. Big Red 1, Call of Duty 2. These were all games that I spent a lot of time playing. Skip Call of Duty 3, that game was trash. But then Call of Duty 4 came around, and your boy put 60 days of playing time into the Xbox alone. We're not even talking about PC, and oh my god, from there, it was just my livelihood. So now that we've got this out of the way, I wanted to talk about why this is A, game that I'm excited for, but B, also a game that I highly doubt a lot of you are going to care about. I know, it's weird. I have not even played a single game, or I had not played a single game of World War II, and I had only watched maybe 30 minutes of gameplay prior to putting my hands on this. I did not get invited out to any early access events like I had always been invited to. I had not even really been that interested in it. Even the gameplay I watched, I was like, okay, I mean, it looks like Call of Duty, and I wasn't wrong. It looked like Call of Duty, it played like Call of Duty, it is Call of Duty. But there was something about this demo, this beta, betas aren't even betas anymore, this marketing free weekend of, hey, you should play this game if you pre-order it to see if you're gonna like it, that got me back in the groove. So, to answer the title, to answer the question of this video, should I buy Call of Duty World War II? My answer seems pretty obvious. You should, A, play it if you can. B, if you cannot play it, think to yourself if you are in the same position I am. Do you like Call of Duty? Have you played most of the Call of Duties in recent time, but got a little bit bored because of Call of Duty? You know, just feeling not that great, not that special, maybe not what you wanted it to? Or do you not even give a shit about Call of Duty? I feel like that's kind of all three things. If you already are full on the COD train and you're excited for this, stop watching the video. You're going to buy it anyways. I mean, you can hear my thoughts. I'm going to talk about that afterward. If you're like me, this game is worth a buy. And that is the most shocking revelation of 2017 to me. I'm going to actually buy a Call of Duty game, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm excited for it. If you are somebody who's not excited for Call of Duty, but sees this and is a little bit interested and can't get your hands on the beta, don't fucking buy it. It's Call of Duty. I'll tell you right now, it is the exact same type of game that every Call of Duty has been. It is quick lobbies, quick games, fast-paced action. Everybody's on the same, playing field in terms of, not flying all over the place, so that's great. But this game is not going to reinvent your love for Call of Duty like many people will want you to believe. This game is very much a return back to how I feel World at War felt, or maybe a little bit of a mixture of World at War and some of the new Call of Duties, with just how quick the gameplay is. But overall, guess what? This game it's Call of Duty, so if you're not hyped for it, or if you're not at least a little bit interested, just don't fucking buy the game. Just wait, because you're gonna be disappointed. So Tucker, buddy, what made you excited? Why did you like it? Why did you play for so long? Why did you lose your voice streaming Call of Duty? Well, to be completely honest with you, Gunplay felt pretty good. This game did a good job of reining in the map sizes, and the pacing and the feel of the game made me think to myself, shit, let's put on some Breaking Benjamin and just kind of grind out some lobbies with friends. It was very much a mixture of try-hard players who were going to play this game till their thumbs bled, and a mixture of people who really should not ever pick up a controller again. So some games I slaughtered, other games I got my ass handed to me. But the guns felt pretty good. I have a lot of I have a lot of suggestions and things that I would like to see changed. Mainly the gunplay itself, but we'll get into that in a minute. I thought that there are 3 maps that are available for TDM and Domination, as well as Hardpoint, and then there's 1 war map that you can play. There are significant changes to war. There's also significant changes to the way the maps are laid out, a lot of which I don't like, by the way. But the main components, the things that you should be focusing on when you're trying out a game, are not necessarily the 3 maps or the small map selection or which map you didn't like in the beta. I mean, that's fine to comment on, but it should be how the game overall plays and feels. This game is a very quick game. Time to kill is routinely 2 to 3 bullets when you're in the range that the gun is supposed to be in. Snipers are a one-hit kill anywhere on the torso and head. There is a lot of emphasis on close quarters combat, which means that the maps feel tiny. The games are very fast-paced. Very rarely do I have games that went over 8 minutes long, and that's pretty insane to me. And the ones that did, those were games that were war-based, that we deliberately drug out because we wanted more kills, that we had teammates that didn't know what they were doing. And I think that that's very much what I was hoping for. I didn't like playing 15-minute domination games. I didn't like playing 15-minute TDM games. I don't like that. I like games that have an emphasis on funneling you towards action, that get you in the game, and they did a good job with that. So let's talk about other things. The score streaks. Shit, man. Very rarely did I get a UAV, let alone a bomb or mortar strikes. Like, they did an amazing job, in my opinion, of bringing it back towards pre-Call of Duty 4 days, where you don't have a ton of info at all times. In COD 4, man, it was so rare not to have a UAV up. Like, it was stupidly rare. If you didn't have a UAV up, your team sucked. Let alone a helicopter if you were on a good team. And that kind of overbearing on kill streaks led to what I feel was an absurd explosion of the importance of score streaks in Call of Duty. Like, it became a mandatory thing to have a fuck ton of score streaks. Now, it's like, whoa, he had a score streak. What the hell? Like, this dude really got paratroopers, which are like an AI score streak. It was kind of weird, but they were pretty good. And I'm like, what the hell? And not only that, but these score streaks are not very influential. They're more like a, hey man, good job. Like, keep it up. Like, you did good. And it's not like, oh my God, fuck, he's got a helo. We're all dead. Like, that to me means that the gameplay is now focused back on the individual, back on the gunplay, back on the one-on-one or one-on-two battles. Not only that, but I feel like this game has trended a little bit towards making it difficult for you to 1v3. In some Call of Duty games, you could jump around the corner, spray down 3 people, no problem. In this game, I jump around the corner and I see 3 people, and my first reaction is, oh, no, no, no. You know, you can do it, but it's just much more impressive. There's a lot more emphasis on winning an individual battle, backing off a bit, and then going back in, which you might think slows the gameplay down, but in my opinion, it keeps you moving. It makes me feel like, oh shit, I gotta keep, now I did one thing, now I gotta go back and do another thing, now I gotta fall back, now I gotta push up, now I gotta look here. And I felt more busy. I felt more focused on the overall game and less focused on me, and what I need to do to make my next score streak happen. The guns, all right? First and foremost, they need to change some of them, in my opinion. The STG has no recoil without any attachments on. Shit's a laser beam. The M1, that thing is so fucking satisfying. How did it take me 8 minutes to mention it? The ding is gonna make me have an orgasm. Oh my God, if that gun, also it's a little loud, let's be honest. Like, you can hear it across the map. That ding is so satisfying. The guns themselves, I like the way that the perk system is laid out. I like the way that the attachment system is laid out. I like individual guns having to be used in order to unlock shit. It makes me think to myself, oh, do I want to invest time learning the Type 100? Or do I want to stick with the PPSH? Do I want to push the fuck out of people because I know I can? Or maybe adventure into, you know, an LMG and spend time figuring out the ways to use this best? That is satisfying. And finally, let's talk about the maps. Probably not finally, but let's talk about the maps. Out of the 3 maps that I've played plus the war map, the 3 maps are small. And I really don't like one of them, which is Point du Hoc, which is a trench warfare map. I constantly feel like my shotgun doesn't have enough range, or my SMG has too much range, where my time to kill is a little too long because they're, you know, they're up close and personal with a shotgun, and I really need to get a 2 or 3 hit kill instead of a 4 hit kill. I think that there's not a lot of verticality there where there's not like high ground. You're almost forced into the trenches, which you might be like, hell yeah, dude, trench warfare. I don't know, it's a little bit frustrating. You know, in order to run down a trench, you turn your back and you're basically vulnerable from 3 spots at once. And if you make it, then you're out in the open, and now you're like, shit, now I gotta get an AR out. That map is not my favorite. I love Gibraltar. I love the way that map is set up. It feels like they did a good job of making you look up and down on that map without having you being a booster thrusting, crazy flying jetpack wielder. That map did what I wish Point du Hoc did better, which is just have a space where I can sit up high and shoot down, or a space where I'm down low and I'm in the trenches, or I'm in, like, you know, close quarters combat. That map is a great map. The last one, which I can't remember, is a snow map. That map is fun. I enjoy that. It's got good lines of sight. It's got good places for SMGs and ARs. That map, I got no qualms. And then the war map. Man, I already knew that I was going to go over 10 minutes, but the war map is interesting. I like the idea of war. It's basically an escort mission with a point capture mission, with a build mission, with a defend mission all in one. I like that a lot. I really do. It means that each segment, you kind of switch up your class. In the first area, I'm using an SMG. In the second area, I'm using a sniper or an M1. In the third area, I'm using an M1 or an AR. In the fourth area, I'm using an SMG or an AR. Like, they did a really good job with that. And I liked it a lot. The only complaint I had was that the space between you entering your combat zone and then you going to the place that you need to be is like, feels like 10 feet. Like, it feels so cramped. And I hope the different maps will help that. But I very routinely found myself going, all right, I'm spawned. Oh shit, the guy's in front of me. All right, I'm spawned. Oh, you know what I mean? I like what they did with war. It's not World at War's war, and I missed that. But they did a good job in kind of changing up the game type. So I know I rambled a little bit, but I just wanted to get all my thoughts out into a video. Otherwise, I just become my boy T Martin. I just make 7 videos on each individual topic, and I damn well could. I really, really could. Brings me back to old Call of Duty days. I'm excited. I will pick up this game. You might be asking, well, are you going to play this instead of PUBG? No, not really. I'm going to play Call of Duty for 2 hours on stream when I want to keep streaming and hang out. This is a game that I will play when I'm bored. This is a game that I will play with friends, but it's not a game that I could see myself losing my life into. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. And going into the beta as well as the full game with that mentality, I'm actually kind of happy. I'm going to play this game probably for more than 5 days of playtime, and that's a lot of time. Honestly, that is. So, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys got some info on this from an unbiased perspective for once. You know, I know that there's a pretty polarizing fuck Call of Duty and I love Call of Duty group. So if you enjoyed, let me know. You're going to see more Call of Duty gameplay, probably funny moments and shit like that in the next week or so. If you guys did not enjoy and hate the beta, let me know. I'm curious. But I'll talk to you guys later, all right? Peace.